Welcome to episode 4 of the Generation UCAN podcast, previewing the Olympic Marathon Trials in Houston Marathon. I'm Varun Sriram. 7 Generation UCAN runners with a shot at the Olympic team in Houston this weekend. We're chatting with our 4th and final American runner who will be trying to qualify for the Olympics at the Marathon Trials. Stephan Shay joins us on the podcast. Thanks for taking some time, Stephan. So why don't we start out with your running background as a way for you to introduce yourself to our audience. Maybe you can tell us how you got started in the sport and, what it means to you in your life.
I pretty much got started at a pretty young age, junior high, just kind of ran a little bit before junior high even, just because my brothers and sisters all ran too, so I'd always go to track practice and cross-country practice, because my parents were the coaches for that, and so I'd go and I'd run around a little bit, during practice. When I was in junior high, I remember losing to girls all the time, and so it's been a pretty good progression, and I think that's kind of why I've been able to stick with it so long, is I've always seen some kind of progression, whether it was from junior high to high school to college, or college to post-collegiate running.
And, you mentioned that improvement, and I guess in the last few years you've shown some pretty significant improvement. What exactly do you attribute that to? Is there anything that's changed in your routine, or what do you point the finger to for that?
I'd say it's kind of just my ability to adapt to the different kinds of training. I mean, in high school, I just remember running hard all the time. Even in easy runs, a lot of my easy runs would be 6-minute pace, and I could get away with that just because my mileage wasn't that high and the races were shorter. Then as I got to college, I realized, I got a lot more out of training smarter and hard, rather than just hard all the time. And I ran my easier runs a lot easier than I even did in high school, and I started seeing bigger improvements.
Now you have a shot at the Olympic team. What does that mean to you, and is it a little bit surreal in any way that you have that shot?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough one for sure, especially this being only my second marathon attempt. So, definitely, have that in the back of my head. But I'm also using this as another stepping stone to progress in my running career. Just to, my first marathon didn't go so well in London, and now, I'm using this as an opportunity to, maybe have an outside shot at getting on the team, but also to just, prepare myself, for maybe 4 more years down the road.
Now, you'll be lining up alongside, and I guess against as well, Meb Keflezighi, who I understand has become a good friend of yours, too, over the past several years. What is that going to be like, racing with Meb?
Last time I ran here 2 years ago, I ran my personal best in the half marathon, and I attribute some of that to, just seeing Meb up in the pace cart, because he didn't actually run that year, but he just come off of, winning New York. And I just remember, in the middle of my race looking up and seeing Meb up there and thinking to myself, remembering, how he fought in New York, and it kind of gave me the extra boost I needed, during those rough spots in that race. And so, I don't know if we'll be, running right by each other in the race, but, it's always comforting to see a familiar face in the race, and, he's always a good guy to talk to and get advice from.
How have you been training for Houston? What have the last few months looked like for you?
I'm self-coached, and I self-coached myself out of college, and I ran my half marathon PR off of, being self-coached. And so I kind of have gone back to a lot of, the things I was doing post-collegiately leading up to the half marathon. The marathon's obviously a lot longer, totally different race, but I think I'm still able to kind of take a lot from my training cycle leading up to that. So I've been kind of going a lot more based off of feel, what I think my body needs at the time, and kind of just making sure I recover a little bit more. And I've been doing some longer tempo stuff, but also one of my favorite workouts to do is a longer fartlek workout, kind of like a 7-minute, 5-minute, 4-minute, 3-minute, 2-minute one with equal rest, and so jog rest. So that's kind of nice to be able to kind of get back to some of my old workouts and feel good off of that.
And how about UCAN? How's UCAN been fitting into your training? Have you been using it in training, and how do you anticipate using it on race day?
I use it about 45 minutes before, or 60 minutes before I'll use it as kind of like a little bit of a meal before I start my warm-up. And then I also use it during my workout, but not until if it's like an hour or less, I usually don't need to. Usually it sustains enough energy where I don't need to use it. But if it's over an hour, then I'll have more of it after an hour. And then the protein recovery drink I just use within 15 minutes after my workout, and I definitely have noticed a big difference in my recovery and just my ability to not feel totally depleted after a workout. So it's been good.
It's great, Stephan. And a final one for you. I wanted to ask you about what we call a UCAN moment in your running career, and that's basically a moment where you were able to overcome an obstacle, a hardship, with a can-do attitude. Is there anything you can point to in your running moment, that in your running career, that symbolizes a UCAN moment?
Definitely. I mean, first thing that comes to mind is 2 months ago, I was really struggling with I've had sciatica issues ever since the London Marathon. It's been kind of flaring up, and I just remember, kind of being at my lowest point in terms of, probably the last year or two, and I just kind of thought, man, this might be it for me. I don't know if I can recover from this in time to train right for the marathon. But then I just, my girlfriend was there to kind of lift my spirits up, and I thought of my brother Ryan, and how many injuries he went through and still kind of gutted it out, and sometimes it worked out better than he'd hoped for. So it's kind of what I'm hoping for this time, and I'm just keeping that in mind when race day comes.
Well, that's great, Stephan. Well, good luck this weekend. Congratulations on what the last few months you've accomplished with your training, and it sounds like you're in good shape. So best of luck this weekend, and we'll be pulling for you to have a great race.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You've been listening to the Generation UCAN podcast. For more information on the sports nutrition of elite and everyday runners, visit generationyoucan.com.